Hello guys, today I just wanted to go over a couple things that I think you might find very helpful or very useful when it comes to progressing and kind of, I guess, like going through the very early game and I guess even some of the mid game of AFK Journey. First and foremost, as you can see, I have as you can see here, I do have an epic character. His name is Rowan. If you're not familiar with this character, he is really strong. And although he is a support, you might be wondering why would you ever focus or fixate on a support, especially early on. But if you actually read through his skills, he's kind of crazy. So first and foremost, he gives energy to the allies around him. But then he also provides like some healing. There's just like a healing station or like some potions that your allies can consume and take. And while this in of itself is maybe not the most crazy thing, although in all honesty, it is still pretty good and is very relevant because it's a lot of healing. The thing that I actually found really insane is that when you pair Rowan with Lucius, who he's a 4-star or he's an elite character, so he's not quite as difficult to get. Basically, when you get this character, pairing Lucius's ultimate, which if I tab over to him real quick, Lucius's ult, where is it? Yes, okay. So Lucius's ult makes it so that he grants allies a big barrier that reduces damage or prevents certain amount of damage from being dealt for 10 seconds, which again, 10 seconds is a really long time. And when you have the healing of Rowan and you have the, I guess, the barrier and the mitigation from Lucius, the two basically trivialize all content. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that, because in all honesty, I wasn't super keyed in on it until I kind of like sat there and just let my AFK like progression kind of just go, and I was just, you know, working on other stuff on the side, and I was watching it literally just beat up every single stage, have no problems whatsoever. And this is with what I would probably regard to be like a fairly underleveled team composition. Like I don't have like level 100 characters, I don't have anything crazy, but I think somewhat of like the I guess like a very lucky thing that like I guess just so happened to have happened. I don't know, there's definitely a better way of phrasing this, but something that I guess just coincidentally occurred when it came to the team composition that I ended up running for AFK Arena or AFK Journey, I apologize, is that I basically had a full tank healing composition where everyone was either too far to get hit or they had invincibilities. And the reason why I say this is because I was also using Valen. And the thing about Valen is that Valen becomes invincible when he uses his ultimate or when he uses like this specific skill. And it reads that he selects a tile and then does like 7 swift strikes. He kind of just like teleports all over the place and he starts hitting enemies. And the thing is that while he is melee and you would think that he is fairly vulnerable because he's melee, he has invincibility while doing his ultimate, which is very relevant, or it's very good, obviously. But this in of itself, while very strong, doesn't actually, or this in of itself by itself is not the most insane skill of all time. But when you pair it with, again, the healing that you get from Rowan, the second like mitigation barrier, or like the second barrier that you would get in addition to your own invincibility with Valen, and you know, pairing that with Lucius alongside the final character that I really want to emphasize, who is Cannaaaa, like the composition is really ridiculous. And honestly, I didn't really intentionally build this composition to look like that or to play like this. But like I don't know what to say. I really haven't been losing too much or like at all. And granted, I get it. Like the power is like definitely, you know, the power disparity definitely plays a part in it. But if you take a look at Cannaaaa as well, what Cannaaaa does is that she just summons like an additional like, you know, meat shield or like a meatball on field that tanks tanks damage. She ends up rooting as well, I believe, with one of her skills. Yes, okay, yes. So when Cannaaaa summons Mr. Carlisle, not only does he do damage, he also entangles enemies. So, like, let's just recap for a second. Basically, what happens is you root them, You have Invincibility from like your main frontline DPS, or you have to hit like a knight who, or like, you know, a tank character, which obviously you're not going to get through him. And then you have healing to heal back up your tank, and everyone else is either not in range to get hit, or they're already, again, you know, like safe, or safe enough from a distance that they wouldn't take damage at all. And like, if you just think about that in essence, or like, you know, if you just take that in isolation, the things that I just said, you have basically an invincible frontline, a crowd controlling frontline, and you also have like a composition that can't get hit in the backline, all while doing decent damage. This is kind of a crazy sounding composition, or, you know, crazy sounding composition, or these are fairly ridiculous, I guess, like features for a team composition to have. Oh, I guess that's cool. I did not know I could do this. Literally, again, I've just been AFKing a little bit, just simply because of, you know, just out of curiosity. I was AFKing to see how far I could go. And originally, and again, this is a bit of a PSA as well, I did not realize this, but there's literally like an AFK or like an auto progression battle. So like, this is kind of the equivalent, maybe not quite the exact equivalent, but this is kind of similar to as if you could just progress through the story automatically. And just like, take a look at this, guys. Like, obviously, in my opinion, the last character is kind of flexible to like who you want it to be. And once I get someone better, I might, you know, commit to it. But we've got the healing. We've got, like, you know, the extra energy to all my allies so that they can, you know, cast their skills faster. And now there's Entangled. My frontline paladin, or like my frontliners, were taking literally like no damage whatsoever. I could probably just sit here and literally watch myself probably get to something like stage 100 with like no issues at all. I mean, again, I will preface like that, yes, like, you know, the power of the power level of the enemies is definitely not that high, but even in terms of being, you know, or like even in terms of just like the way that like the composition is panning out, none of my characters are getting even remotely close to low. Like, regardless of how much damage the enemies do, simply because like between the, I guess, being given so much, being given the ability to use your ultimate so much faster with Rowan, in addition to the healing, it basically just makes it so that I'm able to get off like a very early, I think within like 20-second ultimate. Oh, is this the stage that I'm gonna get beaten up on? Not even. And again, like I said, it feels like, in theory, if I were to take a, you know, a frontliner against a bunch of mages, or if, you know, they aren't like element advantage, or like, again, even in this stage, it looks like I'm on, you know, I'm disadvantageous to like the enemies here. It still feels like I have enough of like a backup plan, or I have enough like utility in my kit that, or in like the kits of my characters, so that I am actually able to like push out or clutch a win. Like, I've got the shielding going on. Like, and at the end of the day, I've got Mr. Carlisle to tank just in case one of my other characters end up getting one shot, or, you know, they take too much aggro and they end up dying. And then I also just have, again, my frontliner, or like my tank character, who, despite literally taking every single hit from this enemy team, just look, he's about to get one shot, or he's about to die, and then we just give him a barrier, and all's well that ends well. Right now, Mr. Carlisle comes out, everyone gets their ultimate very quickly, and it's ridiculous. And now, I will also give a bit of a PSA, or not really a PSA, but I also will give credit where credit is due. I was lucky enough to get 2 5-stars, which I completely admit. Like, Rowan is definitely a very good character, and so is Ceccia. They both have a lot of like utility, or they have a lot of stalling that allows your team to kind of get going. But I mean, what can I say, guys? You know, like, if you're able to have a composition that, again, I'm not like wailing for impotence or anything, but like, if you're able to find a composition that works early, you should kind of just go with what works, right? And for me, I'm just pleasantly surprised, because again, I kind of would is this the stage that is this the stage where I have to finally start upgrading? Nope, I still win. Okay, so again, have not made any like real enhancements or crazy adjustments to my characters. I'm on AFK stage 67. I've literally been doing this since like, I think like AFK stage 30, because again, I was just curious how far I could go. And if I'm getting closer and closer to the point where I am going to have to upgrade, like the enemy is like level 49 or something right now, and most of my characters are at like the mid 40 range as well. then so be it. You know, like I've basically found a team composition that I can invest in. Like my final character doesn't really have any synergy whatsoever. It's like the little like the hyena. I'm not entirely sure who my final character should be. Maybe it could be a flex. Maybe it could be something along those lines. Maybe another healer or a mitigation. Because like obviously he is literally doing nothing for my team. But again, I think, and I wanted to just kind of give you guys a little bit of context as to how I've been playing AFK Journey right now. Oh, I guess this is the stage that I end up getting one shot by. Right? Okay, yeah. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to actually clear the stage, but again, it was a pretty good run. I think I literally had gone 40 or 45 or like even 50 stages straight-ish without, you know, really suffering too much. Maybe 40, maybe 50 is an exaggeration. I think it was anywhere between, I think like 30 to 40 stages just with this specific composition and then on occasion upgrading. But in any case, guys, this was just kind of what I wanted to show off when it comes to the team compositions, or what I find to be really strong going into AFK Journey right now. If you guys want to do the same, or if you guys want to take similar traits from this, or take certain elements of the team compositions, feel free to. I definitely think if you can, though, pick up Lucius and a healer, because this is, I don't know what to say, this is really nice for stalling, and it lets me kind of progress or cruise through the game decently well. Again, I haven't really struggled too much, and I haven't progressed in the main story at all because I'm just trying to get as much value from the AFK challenges as possible. Maybe I'll start doing that next. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, turn the notification bell, subscribe. Let me know what you think about AFK Journey. Again, these are very like well-polished aspects of the game, and I'm pleasantly surprised about a lot of these like features that I've seen so far when it comes to AFK Journey. That's going to be it again, though, for this video. Hope you guys tune in for the next one. I'll see you guys all next time. Adios!